Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian here at the Surface Navy Association's annual conference and trade show, the leading gathering of U.S. Navy surface warriors from around the world to talk about the future of the United States Surface Force and indeed the United States Navy. We're partnered with SNA on this effort, and our coverage here is sponsored by Huntington Ingalls Industries, General Electric Marine, L3 Technologies, and Leonardo DRS. And we're here on the General Electric stand to talk to George Awiszus, who is a marketing manager for Marine Systems here at GE. George, great to see you again.
Hey, good morning, Vago.
It's Surface Navy's it's one of the great shows because you just run into so many friends and also get updated on a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. You guys have kind of a unique a marine power distinction where it's 34 navies.
Yeah, 35 navies. We're up to 35 navies since last year.
Around the world that depend on the LM2500, which has been a benchmark power plant in the United States Navy, stretching back to the Oliver Hazard Perry class, first ships using it, and then we're in the Spruance class, in the Arleigh Burke as well. There's ongoing frigate competition, and you are on 4 of those potential candidates. Talk to us a little bit about what you're hearing from the Navy about what it wants to do with shipboard power, propulsion. We heard from Ron Boxall, the Director of Surface Warfare. We spoke to him as well, where he was talking about the large surface combatant and elements of commonality in this, in terms of reducing that long-term service cost. Talk to us about some of the messaging you're getting and some of the hints you're getting from the Navy about what it wants in its future propulsion, integrated propulsion systems.
Okay, well, thank you.
Or integrated ship power systems.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's 2 new ship programs that are coming on, as you mentioned, is the Future Frigate, which will be replacing the Littoral Combat Ship, and then the Large Surface Combatant, which will be replacing the DDG-51. And from our perspective, yeah, we're on 1,200 LM2500s that have been delivered all over the world. But what we're hearing on the Future Frigate and these other ships is that they want more power in the same amount of space. They want power density. The other thing is that they've asked is they asked for the term flexible. So what does that mean? I can put so much power on and I can grow as time is needed. And what we're doing with our LM2500s is we have a 22 megawatt, a 26 megawatt, which was 14 inches longer, and a 30 megawatt, which was the same 14 inches longer. We're making all 3 the same size so that the Navy can pick, or the shipyards can pick, 22, 26, or 30 megawatts, all in the same size, and that way they have capability to grow. Which is also important. Frigates are typically volume constrained. So if you go on board a ship nowadays, you're really crammed in the maintenance space, and you don't have room. So now we give the sailors and the Navy the room they need, and they can put more power in the amount of space that they have.
And one of the things you guys pride yourselves on is being able to be serviced in the ship, right? So you don't have to, pull the funnel cap off and then pull the engine out.
Yeah. Well, one of the things you're seeing now is turbine removals that are happening. They really don't have to happen, okay? And one of the things that we have is that we have a horizontal split case in our gas turbines, and it allows for in situ maintenance, okay? So this way here, if you have foreign object damage or something happens, because stuff happens, okay? This is a Navy combatant. You can just open up our casing like an automobile hood, and you can modify the parts and within days and save millions of dollars and weeks and months of availability.
Talk to us a little bit about the spiral plan you guys have, and also retrofit plans, right? I mean, everybody wants to get the benefits of some of the technology that you guys are rolling out. What's your sort of LM2500 growth roadmap, if you can walk us through it, whether in, sort of the immediate term and the long term, right? Because the great thing about having such a great installed base is that it supports your great installed base. On the other hand, at some point, you also want to be adapting that power plant to be able to address future needs.
Good point. Primarily, first, continuing on the power density aspect of things, we're introducing our lightweight composite module, which will be on the DDG-128 this year, in the Littoral Combat Ship 32 with Austal. That lightweight composite module will save 5,500 pounds, and they need the weight reduction. Okay, so again, the theme of more power and with the best class power density. The other thing that we're doing is the LM2500 plus G4. It's now rated at 30.4 megawatts for U.S. Navy. That has not been used in the U.S. Navy. It's been proven in 27 other ships around the world with the Italian Fram, the French Fram, and the Italian light frigate. And so we've got US Navy rating approval now to 30.3 megawatts. So that would be a new engine coming on board, fully shock qualified with the plan for the US Navy, for the future frigate, and the large surface combatant as well. So we're real pleased with that.
And talk to us about electric start. Anybody who knows anything about gas turbines knew that you had to use compressed air, and you would start your K501 and you'd use K501 bleed to start. Not that I would be familiar with procedures at all, but you'd start your mains. Talk to us about electric start and how that's kind of game changing for the business.
Yeah, interesting. You know your stuff. Is primarily we got that from our industrial group. Our industrial group started using electric start for the gearbox to start the gas turbines, and we transferred that over into the naval marine space. And primarily, if you look at it versus hydraulic systems, you save 6,500 pounds. Again, it's weight, and then also to kind of move into the next subject, it's very appropriate for electric drive ships, right? If you have electric drive ships, you can be starting the ships on batteries and things of that nature. Why have compressed air? Why have hydraulic? So with electric starters, we're getting a lot of interest on it, not only for the weight reduction, but also for the coming of electric ships.
From a, you mentioned the industrial power group. Obviously, folks also most of the time around the world, when they think of General Electric, if they're not thinking about household appliances, they're thinking about your commercial aviation business, which is extraordinary. And you guys are a manufacturer of some of the world's most powerful, but also the most efficient engines. And in the commercial aviation space, everything is about not just the power density, but also the efficiency of it. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about the cross-pollination and how you get some ideas from across this power generation and even aviation propulsion universe that you guys live in, where you guys are exchanging ideas and trying to continue to refine the product.
Well, that's interesting, because one of the things is that with GE is obviously known for its commercial and military airspace, with over 60,000 installed military and commercial engines. Those commercial or aircraft engines went into the aeroderivatives. And those aeroderivatives, we use them in naval, we use them in industrial, and we use them in power conversion. But all of those are made by GE Aviation, even though they're for power, oil and gas, or marine. So we have this large installed base in our aviation engineers, our aviation manufacturing. We bring all the good technology that we do from the industrial group, oil and gas, and into the LM2500 product. So we always are enhancing it for performance or reliability. So we're lucky with that enterprise.
Let me ask you one question about the MT-30. That's the Rolls-Royce product. Very powerful engine, very big engine. You said it's on the Freedom class littoral combat ship. Do you guys see an opportunity there on the Lockheed frigate variant as well, which would effectively put you as the baseline power plant across the entire frigate universe?
The way I see the future frigate is that there's 5 people who have been awarded concept designs, okay? And as you mentioned, our gas turbine are on 4 of the reference ships. We're not taking anything for granted. We're working with all 5 shipyards. The key thing is you have to have solutions, and that's why you see the things that we're doing with technology, power density, is solutions. So we want to earn the trust of all 5, and we think that we have a good chance in our solution is the right size for Lockheed Martin, as well as the other 4.
George Awiszus of General Electric, sir, thanks very, very much. Hope you have a very successful Navy League.
Hey, thank you, Bob.
Oh, excuse me, Surface Navy.
Yeah, Surface Navy is fantastic. Thank you.
And by the way, congratulations on the spectacular victory of the Boston Red Sox. I can be a New York Yankee fan and still acknowledge just an extraordinary season and when well played and well earned.
It was a good team, and we in Boston have to learn to be humble. So thank you, like you Yankees fans.
Yeah, I don't think humility is something Yankees fans have, but that's fantastic. George, thanks very much.
Hey, thanks. Take care.